Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It is a beautiful day outside, so I figured I would film an intro out here. Today we are painting some watercolor snow peas. These are just such a fun, relaxing, like really loose way to paint watercolor snow peas. So if that's something that you are interested in, without further ado, let's get into it. So my first piece of advice for creating a sweet pea in this style is using a fluffy brush. So I'm using a round brush, but this one is sort of fluffier. It's not dense, so you could use any brush that you like. These are two totally different price points, but you see how this one has some fluff to it. It's not very bouncy, if that makes sense. This one's super great too. It's very loose and fluffy. And then this is more of a bouncier brush. You can see how dense that is. So that one's not going to give you that sort of loose petal-y effect like this one will. I hope that that makes sense. I'm going to list these below, so don't worry about that. But another important thing is when I'm trying to do more loose, I'm going to use a smoother watercolor paper as opposed to a rough or a cold press. So this is Arch's cold press. It works beautifully, but when I want to do something a little bit more loose and flowy, I love to use a hot press. And that is because hot press paper has less tooth, less texture, and it's smoother. So that's just another tip that I like to use for more of a looser, flowy style. Not to say that you can't use a cold press, you absolutely can, so use what you have. As far as color goes, they do come in multiple different colors. They have like the classic white with a little bit of a tinge of green to it. I wanted to do sort of a purpley pink. I saw a picture on Pinterest, I think it was Pinterest or one of them, that it looked almost like a dusty purple. So I wanted to do that. So I'm mixing up some Quinacridone rose and some violet, and I'm not really thinking too much about it. I'm just mixing it up and I'm doing a very, very watery mixture. I'm dropping in some opera rose just to brighten it up a bit. I always like to mix my colors before I start, just so that I don't feel pressured when I start painting. So yeah, I'm just mixing up random colors on my palette. You can choose whatever colors that you like, but I'm adding a little bit more magenta in there, and you can see I kind of separated them out. So I've got more pink, more purpley pink, and then some just very light wash of violet or purple. And this is the sort of style we're going for, very transparent layers that can be built upon. So we want to work with soft, very diluted colors. And the center of these, their stamens, they have a little bit of yellow, so I'm mixing up a warm yellow. Now to start our petals, I'm going in directly into the violet and mixing it so it's a little bit more opaque. I'm using the tip of that brush, and I'm going to start with 3 dots. They have more than 3 petals. It's kind of hard to tell when you're looking at a snow pea, but now I'm going to dry out my brush. I'm going to keep clean water in it, and then I'm just going to pull from that dot and wiggle my wrist. See, I'm sort of doing like 1, 2, 3, and I'm kind of wiggling to create that shape. So I'm going up and down and wiggling. There isn't really a right or wrong way, but we want to create that sort of shape. And we want it to be super transparent so that when we go back in, we can drop in some more color. So I dropped in a little bit more violet. So for the center stamen, you can start dropping that in now while it's still wet. But if you want a little bit more control and you don't want any more of those bleeds or blooms, then you can wait for it to dry. So I sort of love the look of the way the colors blend together, and then I slightly touch that with a little bit more of a rosier color that I mixed up here. And I just love the way that those colors kind of do their own thing. So yeah, we're doing a very light bottom layer, and then once it dries, we can go back in and add some more layers. So for the green stem, I'm mixing up a bunch of different greens here, it seems. I've got some green gold, some lemon yellow, and then I darkened that up a bit. And then we are just going to pull that stem from behind and just go straight down, and they're long wispy stems. And this paper is seeming to have a little bit of a bead to it, which I'm not sure if I just have a bad sheet here, but it's fine. And then I'm going to have the stem come out, and then I'm going to do one sort of from the side so you can see how to do that. So I'm going back in and mixing up a little bit more, and I'm just literally wiggling my wrist to create a petal shape and meeting it back at I think it's called the sepal or the sepal. And just dropping in some more color while it's still a little wet. Mixing it. It doesn't have to be any sort of specific mixture. And I'm just touching ever so slightly and creating sort of those ruffled edges. So I touched that edge there and it sort of blends out a bit. And then I could create the effect of this being layered by adding in a little bit of that darker line there. And then I'm going to repeat that process. So I'm going to start with a few dots here. And you want your brush to still have a lot of water in it, but not to be an opaque color. So you want to make sure that you blot your brush out and fill it back up with water, but you don't need it to be fully clean, but you do want some color in it, but you want to be able to drag that dot out. And then I'm dropping in that center color. And just slowly dropping in different colors. This just adds like a lot of interest to your painting. It's not just one flat color. And that's kind of where it will connect. Now I'm gonna create a stem that goes up, and I want there to be some flowers that are sort of facing down. They all grow on the same stem, and then they have these almost like how bluebells have flowers that grow from the stem, or lily of the valley. So they kind of grow off a stem like this and dangle, and those could be buds or flowers that haven't like really fully opened, or you can do some that are open. And I'm literally just tapping my brush, see how I'm tapping, and just wiggling. And it looks, in the ugly stage you might be like, no, I don't think so. But trust me, you have to let it dry, and then you'll be able to put more details in, more layers. And we're trying to capture the likeness of the flower when we're painting a little bit more loose. So even if you want to stop here and you don't want to go and add more layers, that's totally fine too. But I'm sort of defining the stem now. And you see how I'm thinking before I just paint. So there's a little pause of thoughtfulness. Sometimes I will edit that out to make the videos shorter or more, quicker, but I'm just showing you that there's a pause of thought. The composition is very important to a piece, so you really want to think about where you're going to put your next bloom. But this one's going to be facing down, and it's going to be a little bit larger. So I'm using the side, and I'm just pressing the side of the brush and pulling upward towards the green. And I'm letting them touch, I'm letting them meet, and then I'm dropping in some more deeper colors, almost little lines and squiggles. And this gives it that sort of ruffled effect, or like if you look at a snow pea, it almost looks like they're all folded in together, the petals, and they're just so translucent and delicate that it's kind of hard to see where one begins and one ends. But this way, when this is dry now, you see that layer is dry, so now we can sort of define those edges with a little bit of a darker color. So I'm sort of literally creating a squiggle at the edge, and I'm defining the edge of the petal. And maybe over here I'll add in a little bit more of a layered, and using the tip of the brush to create these little folding lines in there. And if you want to fill in any spots, like in the background, if you want there to be more layers, you can do that with a very light wash. Now that these layers have dried, you can just start adding in little touches here and there. And this gives it a little bit more movement. Now, as I'm looking at this, it seems a little bit unbalanced to me. I feel like there would be one behind here at the top, just because I had put in that side there where they topple over like that. I feel like there should be a bigger one on top, maybe facing upwards. So I'm gonna make this mixture a little bit darker, and I want this one to be a little bit more like in your face, if that makes sense, but not too much, just enough. So we mixed up a decent amount of color in there, and I'm just doing a squiggle, and it's sort of facing upwards, so if you were looking at it from the side, you wouldn't be able to see inside. And And then you could see the bottom there of that sepal. And this, I just keep going back. It's annoying me. I'm going to make it a little bit longer and wispier. It makes it look so much better now. And it's sort of symmetrical from the top and bottom, like the space that we have there. And it's just a better overall composition, little tiny tweaks. So now that these have dried more, I'm gonna start adding in lines. And I'm using some pink in there. And some of these petals might still be a little bit damp, but when they're fully dry, that's when we'll go in and add like the final details. This one I want to have a little bit more of contrast, so I mixed in some of that. I think that's French Aquamarine that I mixed in there and created like a deeper purple. I'm defining the edges of this one and leaving less space in there so that the petals look more like they're overlapping. So you can see that it's starting to take more shape. Before it sort of looked like a blob, but you gotta trust the process. And even if it is ugly, even if you wanna stop, what's gonna happen? So I'm just using the tip of the brush and I am lightly tapping to add a little bit more of that green, and then going back in and adding some squiggles. See how much fun, see how much movement. And then up here, these are facing downwards, but they are still overlapping. So I'm just adding in some defining shadows and such in there. And these little tiny green pieces here. And yeah, I want these to be a little bit more substantial. That needs to be sort of the back petal. You can see how that's taking shape, and this will be the front petal. And it's falling down in the back. But just these little tiny movements, they create movement. And we're just gonna keep doing that until you're happy with what you got. Now at this point you can be finished, or you can go in with a smaller detail brush and start adding in some more of those finer details. It's really gonna bring the piece together. So I'm using a more opaque, less watered down paint, and I'm gonna go in and create some lines within the petal, but a little bit more defined than the ones we've done before. So I'm really going in and I'm sort of lightly tapping it on the paper with the tip of that brush, and I am dragging it down, sort of dancing on there. I'm not creating just like straight lines. I'm doing a little bit squiggly, almost like a pansy, but these are meant to kind of show shadow more than an actual design. I'm just gonna do that on, maybe I'll do it on each petal, or maybe I'll do it on a few petals. You don't have to do it on every single one. And then what I like to do is I use just a little bit of water on my brush. I clean it out, use a little water, and I kind of blur out those lines a bit. And then I'm going to go back into these top ones and really define them. And you're going to watch this sort of come out towards you now. Again with the squiggles. And I personally, I love the look of the loose where there's not the defined lines, so I love both. So if you want to stop before this, totally fine. But what's the point if I don't teach you how to keep going? This one's going to just pull out a little bit further in front. We Always add those centers in now if you opted to not do it while it was wet. Maybe we'll see a little on the side there. And now I'm just really focused on the edges of those petals. I want to create that movement, and I want them to sort of look like they're folded over and very delicate. So you see how that sort of look like it's kind of crinkled together. I'm going to stop working on this now so we don't overwork it. We still want it to stay kind of loose and airy, but that is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you give it a try. Try it with different colors. And please feel free to leave any questions or ideas in the comments below. Thank you for being here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next tutorial.